Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week world currencies, stock markets and commodities. Deep dive for Friday, July 18th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies show mixed movement against the US dollar. The greenback strengthened notably against the Japanese yen, rising 0.94% to 148.79. The euro and Swiss franc maintain very strong negative trends against the dollar. Weekly returns show the US dollar gained most against the New Zealand dollar, up 2.18% month to date. The euro leads year-to-date declines, with the dollar down nearly 11%. Long-term performance reveals the greenback has declined 12.6% against the euro over 3 years. However, it's gained 35.4% against the Indian rupee over the past decade, showing an annual rate of return of 3.1%. The US dollar shows upward momentum across Asian currencies. Notable is a breakout against the Indian rupee after 4 days of consolidation. The Kiwi pair exhibits increased volatility with consecutive weekly gains. Month-to-date returns indicate modest gains for the dollar, advancing 2.2% against the New Zealand dollar. Year-to-date performance shows widespread declines, most notably 6.2% against the Kiwi. 10-year performance metrics highlight the dollar's strongest gains against the Indian rupee, up 35.5%. Conversely, it's declined 6% against the Singapore dollar over the same period.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Thailand led the way, jumping 7.8% to 55.95. China rose 4.5% to 57.45, showing strong upward momentum. Singapore gained 3.8% to 27.24, hitting a new one-year high. Weekly returns highlight Thailand's strong performance with a 7.8% gain. China and Singapore both show consistent momentum, each posting positive returns for 2 consecutive weeks. Year to date, Poland leads with a remarkable 57.5% return. Looking at longer-term performance, Poland shows impressive strength with a 144% 3-year total return. Singapore and Taiwan both demonstrate sustained growth, with 10-year returns of 8.2% and 91% respectively. Among underperforming markets, Philippines declined 3.7% to 26.11. Brazil fell 2.4% to 26.85, breaking downward after 5 days of consolidation. Sweden dropped 2% to 44.65, marking its 3rd consecutive weekly decline. Weekly performance shows Philippines leading declines at -3.8%. Brazil has experienced particular weakness this month, down 6.9%. Despite recent weakness, most markets maintain positive year-to-date returns, with Netherlands up 20.2%. Long-term performance reveals Philippines struggling with a -33% 10-year return. However, Ireland shows resilience with a 65% 3-year return, while Netherlands maintains strong long-term growth at 102% over 10 years.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Silver futures hit a new one-year high, closing at 38.42. Palladium futures also reached a one-year high at 1,303, showing strong upward volatility and closing higher for the 2nd consecutive week. Notable returns in metals include Palladium futures, with a remarkable 17.7% month-to-date gain. Copper futures has advanced 9.8% this month, while silver futures shows a robust 6.2% monthly gain. Looking at long-term performance, gold futures leads with a 10-year return of 196%, averaging 11.5% annually. Silver futures follows with a 159% decade return, while copper futures gained 123% over the same period. In energy futures, natural gas surged 7.6% to 3.57. Crude oil broke downward after 3 flat days, dropping 3.5% to 66.5. Gasoline remains flat after showing very strong positive momentum. Month-to-date returns show heating oil leading with a 6.6% gain. Natural gas posted the strongest weekly performance, up 7.6%, while crude oil declined 3.5% for the week. 10-year performance reveals modest gains across energy futures. Crude oil leads with a 29.8% total return, while heating oil gained 45.8%. Natural gas shows the highest one-year return at 67.9%. Live cattle and feeder cattle both achieved new all-time highs. The 3-year returns are notable, with feeder cattle up 75.3% and live cattle gaining 55.8%. Corn surged 8% despite hitting a new one-year low. In grains, corn futures jumped 8% despite reaching a new one-year low. Rough rice extended its losing streak to 5 weeks, dropping 3.2% with increased downward volatility. Soybean futures gained 2.7%. In grain futures, corn futures led gains, closing up 32 to 428, an 8% rise. Soybean futures added 27.75 to 1,035. Rough rice futures extended its decline, down 0.41 to 12.37, marking its 5th consecutive weekly drop. Long-term performance shows corn futures with a 10-year return of just 1.8%. Wheat futures has declined nearly 40% over 3 years. Oat futures stands out with a 43% gain over the decade. In soft commodities, orange juice surged 10.3% to 318.70, while coffee futures rose 6.3% to 304.55. Cocoa continued its decline, falling 4.6% to 7,800, marking 3 consecutive weekly losses. Orange juice shows remarkable monthly gains of 41.9%, despite year-to-date losses of 35%. Cocoa continues its significant decline, down 13.3% this month. Sugar maintains modest gains of 3.6% month-to-date. Long-term performance reveals cocoa with impressive 3-year returns of 227%. Coffee futures and orange juice both show strong 10-year gains of 137% and 166% respectively.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew. Finance is an experimental project with market reports, written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.